Hey there everyone, welcome back to another live. Today we are going to be continuing our series. Uh, yeah. So this is part 3 of learning CSS with little previous knowledge. So far we have done till borders. So from home all the way to borders. So today we have done till background. So today I'm going to be doing borders and margins. And I'll try and do them really quick because it's already pretty late over here. Okay, let's begin. So CSS borders. The CSS border properties allow us to specify the style, the width, and the color of an element's border. So I have a border on all sides. So you can see that this has a border on all the sides. This one has a red bottom border, and this one has rounded border, and this one has blue left border. So it has a background color of blue as well, and then it also has a border at the left side. So the border style property specifies what kind of border to display. The following values are used. So I think these are the different kinds of borders we have. So we have the dotted, we have the dashed, we have solid, double, we have groove, ridge, inset, outset, none, and hidden. So let's look at them. So let's try them ourselves. So this is how we code it. We have a doc type. We have a HTML head and the style and head. So we write our p dot. So we use our selectors over here, and we do them. So if you want border style to be dotted, then we put it dotted, and then we put the same way for all of them. Then we come down, and then we specify the selector using class equals to this, and then you put it down. Okay. So over here, the first one is a dotted border. This one is a dash border. This is a solid border. This is a double border because it has 1 and 2. This is a groove border. This is a ridge. So this is insert and outset. So insert is like up and then outset is like below. So this one is no border. This one is border. So it has a border but it's hidden. And we also have a mixed border. So we can customize this kind of borders. So we can have a completely different one here, completely different one here, here, and here. Or we can have here, here, the same, here, and here, different. It depends on you, do your list, okay? Okay, then let's go to the next one. Border width. The border width property specifies the width of the four borders. So let's open journal real quick. So let's say we have a border, right? Let me increase the font. Let me draw another one. I'll just assume that these are straight lines. Okay. Now I'm going to be explaining border like this. Okay. So as you can see over here, we have three different types of borders. So we have one, two, and three. You know that this is more thicker than this one, right? And over here, it is a completely different color and it has dash, dash, dash pattern. So they're all, this one, two, and three are all different type of borders. And this is what we are going to look at on how to customize them. Okay. Yeah, so the width can be set at a specific size. So the width over here could, let's say, be 5 pixel, whereas the width over here comparatively could be just 2 pixel. So we can set the width that we want of the border. The size we can choose is inches, in px pixel, pt point, centimeter. Then I'm not really sure what em stands for and other values. Or we can also use three predefined values, which is thin, medium, or thick. Okay. The demonstration of the different border widths. Yeah, so they have our border style to be whatever, whichever style you want. Then our border width could be 5 pixels, 6 pixels. It could be medium, thick, or thin, right? Because of the three predefined values. Then we have specific side width. So let's say that you only want, uh, let's choose, maybe let's you only want this side to be 5 pixel. Maybe you want this side to be 7 pixel and this side to, let's assume 2 pixels and the last one, uh, yeah, and the last one to be, let's say, 3 pixels. So now over here, you'll notice that the one, okay, let's use this one over here. You'll notice that it's 2 pixels everywhere, but you can customize each of them to be the same pixel size or different pixel size, different sizes in general, sorry. So we use the border width property can have 1 to 4 values, one for the top border, right border, bottom border, and left border. Now, how do I remember them? I remember them as if it's a clock. Okay, let's use green color. So we have, okay, let's scroll down. So let's say this is a small border. Okay, so this is top, this is right, this is bottom, this is left. Now I remember as if it's a cycle that goes in this direction. So we have top first, followed by right, followed by bottom, and then followed by left, and then the cycle ends over here. So that's how you can remember them, and remember that top, right, bottom, left is the order. So let me go to TRBL is the order in which you're going to write it, and other ones as well, which you will see later in this live session. So we are done with border width. Border color. I remember when we were doing color properties, we did do border color. But yeah, let's look over here. The border color properties used to set the colors of the four borders. We could use the specific name, and we know that we have 140 standard colors in CSS. We can also give it a hexadecimal value like this, an RGB value, maybe RGBA value as well, and HSL value as well. And we should know that if border color is not set, it inherits the color of the element. Okay. So demonstration of the different border colors, we can have red, green, blue, and then the different formats that we have chosen for them. So over here we have chosen solid, solid, and then dotted for the last one. I'm sorry, I'm really sleepy right now because of the time, but let's finish this off really quick. Then specific side colors. Just the way we can have specific specific border width, we can also have specific side color, and it follows the same order: top, right, bottom, left. So the way you write them is that whatever you write over here, so the top, right, bottom, left. This is the order in which they'll be applied. Let's try it for ourselves and see. So you can see top, right, bottom, and right. No, left here. So we can do the same for hexadecimal value. Border color, just put in your hexadecimal value. Same for RGB and the same for HSL. Let's go on to the next chapter. So CSS individual sites. So from the previous examples on the previous pages, we have seen that it's possible to specify a different border for each side. In CSS, there are also properties for specifying each of the border, the same order, top, right, bottom, left. Hmm. I'm really sorry. So we just add border, then the one that you want. So we just add it in the middle with two hyphens joining them. And then you add the style. So we can have border, top style, right style, bottom style, left style. And then you specify which style you want. Let's check over here. So over here, the top they want it to be dotted, then followed by solid, dotted, and solid. So it's dotted on top, solid, dotted, and then solid. So yeah, this one works. Okay. So here's how it works. If the border style property has four values, then the way in which they are given, for example, dotted, solid, double dash, it is the way it will be arranged or applied. So dotted for top, solid for right, double for bottom, and dashed for left. If the style property has only three values, then this is how it will be. Let's say we have been given solid, dotted, solid, double. So the top will be dotted, the right and left will be solid, and the bottom will be double. So like this, okay? So if we are given three values, uh, so let's give, so these three values, let's say x, y, and z, for example. So we'll have x applied, I'm sorry, we'll have x applied here, y applied here and here, and z applied here, right? Now, if we have only two values, then the top and border get the same value, and then the right and left, as usual, get the same value as well. Now, if it only has one value, then all of them get the same value as that, right? Easy. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, shorthand property. So shorthand property is not only for border, we have for other things as well. So what shorthand property means is that instead of writing the code several times, just write it in once altogether. So yeah, in the previous page, yep, okay. So the border property is a shorthand property for the individual border properties. So basically, you first add the border width, followed by the border style, which is required, and then the border color. So border width, border, border style, and then the border color. Let's try it for ourselves. So imagine we had, instead of this, let's remove it and we'll be changing. So we'll first have border width to be, let's say, 7 pixel. Then border style to be dotted. And then border color to be light blue. And then we'll run it. So now this is our border, but wait, I think I want to make that pixel. Yeah. So now you see how we have done it. Now instead of writing it 1, 2, 3, all we can do is just remove all of them. So we just go. So I wanted, let's change this one back to 4 pixel. I wanted improve and I want it to be the color purple. See, now you notice the difference between 3 lines and 1 line of code. So this helps us save time as well. So yeah, so you can do that for the left border specifically. You can do that for the bottom border specifically and for the other ones. So for top and right as well. Then we have rounded borders. You must have noticed that borders are usually okay. Let me try and see how straight I can draw it. So like this, right? This is how borders are. But you must have also noticed that we have some borders like this. which are curved, okay, or rounded as we call it. So how do we get that? So in CSS, oops, we basically have the border radius and then you just specify the radius with which you want to round it. For example, we can just round it with 5 pixel and it will be looking like this. Let's see. And this is how it will look like. So this is the last one. So border radius and yeah. So we are done with borders. Let's go to margins here. So margins, we are going to look at only two things and then we'll close for the day. So margins are used to create space around elements outside of any defined borders. So this element has a margin of 70 pixels. So maybe 70 pixels from here, 70 up, 70 down, and 70 here. So CSS margin properties are used to create space. Yeah, we read that. With CSS, you have full control over the margin. There are properties for setting the margin of each side of an element, top, right, bottom, and left. So CSS properties for specify margin of each side to an element. So we have margin top, margin right, margin bottom, and margin left for specific things. And they all follow this for following values. So either auto, length, percentage, or inherit, which we'll look at over here, I think. So let's take an example that they have. Let me close this. Guys, remember to hydrate. Let me drink water and film just a second. Yeah, sorry guys, let's continue with what we were doing. So okay, so border, it's 1 pixel, solid and black. Yep. So the top margin is 100 pixels. So from over here, okay. So from let me see if I can paint. So from here to here, it's 100 pixel. So margin bottom. So now the next thing that will be drawn will also be 100 pixel. Margin right. So from here to here is 150 pixel, and from here to here, no, here is 80. Here is 100. Here's 100, and here's 150 pixel margin. Okay, let's move on to the next one then. So then you can also have the margin shorthand property. So we'll have it in the same order: top, right, bottom, left. So in the margins, so just like borders, we have if there are four, then the top will be this one, the right will be this, the bottom will be this, and the left will be this. If we have three, this will be top, this will be right and left, and this will be bottom. If we have two, this will be top and bottom, this will be right and left. And if we have one, then all four margins will be that. Then we also have something called the auto value. You can set the margin property to auto to or horizontally center the element within its container. So what this means is that once you set it to auto, you do not need to tell how much. Let me get the drawing thing again. So once you set it to auto, you do not need to tell the computer how much you need. Can I not move it? Okay. You don't need to tell the computer how much you want to marginize it by, let's say, 50 or 60 pixel, or from here to here, it automatically recognizes that, okay, this is the center. So I'll have equal, let's say, X centimeter um, far from this side and X centimeter far from this side, so that it's on equally on both sides and it's centered. Okay. Then lastly, we have the inherit value. This example lets the left margin of the P class equal to EX1 element be inherited from the parent element. Okay, let's look at this. So we have div over here, which has given margin left of 100 pixels already. So now, once it inherit, it means that whatever was given before it is what it will take. So if it was 100 pixel given already over here, we'll also use 100 pixels over here. Now, because we do not have div as something you can type and it's just basically a section, you cannot put it over here, right? That was that. Let's move on to the last margin collapse. Okay, margin collapse is really easy. Let me explain this. Now, okay. In this example, the H1 element has a bottom margin. It's best if I use a drawing to explain. Uh, okay. In this example, okay, let me just take this, open this. Yeah, in the example, each one element has a bottom margin of 50 pixel. So from here to here, it must be 50 pixel. And the H2 element has a top margin of 20 pixels. So from here to here is 20 pixels. So the vertical margin between H1 and H2 should have been 50 pixel originally, but because we are using margin collapse, we just use the bigger value. So it's 50, right? So we'll just take into consider 50, not 20, because the 20 is already part of the 50. Um, and yeah, that was basically that. And we are done with what I had planned for today.